welcome back. I have a uke ready for strings. This is my baritone uke, standard model, black walnut and Sitka spruce top. I'm about ready to string this one up, and I get a lot of questions about my two-hole bridge design and how you actually physically string it up. So I'll go over that, and then I'll show you how it's done and how I do it, and the reasons why I actually use a two-hole design. Also kind of show you how I string it up at the pegs as well. It's super simple to change your strings. But yeah, I think this will be a good video on demonstrating how I do my two-hole design. All right, here we go. So I'm using the D'Addario blacks on this uke. I've tried a lot of different types of strings, but I kind of like these ones. The fluorocarbon's are really nice as well. So I have two holes in my bridges. So these ones here, first I'll go around and then you go back through the hole like that. So you're looping it through the second hole. Always start at the hole lowest to the high strings. So I go through, so you can kind of see going through it. And on my high strings, especially with tenor ukes, there's a lot of tension. I'll pull a little extra slack out so you can kind of see it. So I went through the loop, and then I'll take this end again and go between the two holes, like so. So that really locks in the high strings that are under a lot of tension. You don't need to do this with a wound string. So a lot of times you can just kind of pull it. Take some of this. Take some of this slack. So that kind of locks that into place. So the reason I like using this two-hole design rather than the standard one, that a single hole that loops the string as it comes around, is the break angle. I'll kind of demonstrate what that would look like as a standard single hole. So I'll put this one through my second one here. So traditionally you would have a single hole. You would wrap this around like so, and then you would be feeding it around that string like so. Like that. So what I don't like about this one, you can kind of see the difference here. The second one, you have that loop that's pulling onto your string as it tightens up, whereas the first one I put on, you can see it's just a uninterrupted string down to the single hole, so you're getting a maximum break angle over the saddle. So this is why I generally do a two-hole. Just personally for me, I like the aesthetics of it, and I like the tonal qualities of a nice uninterrupted break angle over the saddle. So yeah, the two-hole design is an effective method. So I'll do this one again on this one. So I go through my first hole. I'll go through my second hole. And then I'll take that end, go through my loop, like so. I'll get a pencil to point. My fat finger's in the way. So you have this gap between the two strings. So I take this end again, and then towards the bass side, and then I go down through those like so. I find that really locks in, so you can kind of take that end, take up the slack, and then pull your string tight. And with this method, as long as you wrap it around that twice on your high strings, you shouldn't have any issues with them coming loose and whipping back on you. So I'll kind of show you what I do with this is the baritone, so it has the wound D and G. For the wound strings, because it has texture to it and they're lower tension, you don't need to do that second wrap. So again, through my first hole closest to your high strings, go around through your second, and then wound strings, I just will go my wound strings, I'll just go through the loop and then tighten it up. You don't need to go around that second time. And we'll do it again for the last string. Through the one loop. Around through the second hole. Again, with the wound string, I only go through once. So you're just going through the hole. And you can cinch it up. And after it's strung up, you can just take a pair of side cutters and just snip those off. So that's how my two-hole bridge design is strung up. But yeah, you can see the interrupted break angle over essentially right from the saddle down to that first hole. You're not having anything pull looped around the string and pulling on it. All right, I'll take you to the headstock. So this is my headstock. I use it on my ukes. I use a 0 fret and then just a retainer to retain the strings. I generally use an ebony for the retainer. This is my E string. So for these, I don't do the put on and wrap around method. Uke strings have so much stretch to them. If you try to do that, you will just have a peg just full of string, which you don't want. So I go through. I pull as much of this slack out. So I have it like this. And then I'll go underneath the string. like so. And then I'll start winding it. So essentially your string is going to wrap over top of that as it goes around and lock it into place. Like I say, you don't need a lot of string wrapped around. Use one of these winders to make it a little easier. Yeah, there's just so much stretch to these strings. If you tried to wind at first like you would with a guitar, you would have so much string onto that post that you don't need. I just have some of these kind of flesh cut snips. Leave a little extra at first. So again, I'll put it through my hole. Bring it around to the high side of your instrument, all underneath. So now it's there's no slack in that. I don't want a lot of slack in that. And I'll start winding. I'll leave a little extra just in case I need to pull them off at any point after I do a setup. It's just a little easier to put them back on if I have to. So with the wound strings, because the wound strings don't stretch nearly as much as the unwound, I will go around once and then put it through my hole. And then start winding. So this is the baritone tuned D, G, B, E. Same as the guitar. So again, wound strings. I will once around because they don't stretch nearly as much. Through and wind. And because they're wound, you don't really need to have them locked into place because they don't slip, just because they're textured. Alright, let's tune this one up. these will need to instantly be tuned again. Generally give them a little stretch. The First Life. Nice. Yeah, you'll be tuning these for a week. They just constantly stretch, but once they're done, they're done. They stay in tune pretty well. Nice, versatile instruments. I myself have a baritone. I just love the versatility of them. You can just play it as a standard baritone. If you're used to a guitar, it's the same as the lower 4 strings of guitar. If you're a tenor player, you can just capo it on the fifth. You have yourself a tenor uke. So I use a lot of capo with my baritones. Yeah, great fun instruments. But anyway, thanks a lot for watching, and hopefully it wasn't too long and drawn out. But yeah, I just wanted to have a demonstration on my two-hole bridge design and how to string them. I think that's it for now. Well, thank you very much for watching. Until next time.